Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Are you surprised to see me? Are you surprised to see me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know what? Sometimes I like to give surprises, okay? You people are looking great, okay? Fantastic. So, how are you? Are you fine? Are you doing fine? Alright, so I would like to request you just not to come out of the home because you know that the infection in Kathmandu, Bhaktapur and Lalitpur has increased. Okay, nowadays it has surged a lot. Isn't if you have listened news or if you have heard news, then you are quite familiar about it. Okay, so please stay home, don't go outside. Did you get the point? And if you have to go outside emergency, if there is emergency, then you'll have to use mask. You'll have to wear gloves, and then only you'll have to go outside. Okay, but try not to go outside. You just stay home and do homework, do assignment, and learn. Okay, do you get the point? So because health is wealth, you know that, isn't it? Health is wealth. So if you want to be healthy, then you'll have to avoid crowds. You'll have to avoid market for some days. Okay. Anyway, so without any further delay, let's get started. All right. So, Salina, I cannot see your face. Face me, please. Just see me. Okay. Anyway, um, okay. So I would like to request you just to switch to turn on your video. Okay. Prisma, Prisma, please orange your camera. All right. Awusan Bosnet is your brother? Who is that small boy? Boy or girl? I'm confused. Anyway, hmm, Prisma Rana, but I cannot see you properly. Please, would you just orange your camera? Prisma, Prisma, please orange your camera, okay? All right, good. Okay, Sudeep, welcome. Roshan Rokaya. All right. So, Tila sir, do you hear me? Everyone, do you hear me or not? If you hear me, then please raise your hand, okay? Because you are muted. That's why if you raise your hand, then I understand that you can hear my sound properly, all right? Sandesh Paudel, do you hear me or not? Okay, that's great. Fine, fantastic. So, let me repeat what we learned yesterday, okay? So, all right, so let me repeat, all right? So that it will be more clear for you because what we learned yesterday, that is very much important, okay? So I shall repeat for a certain time and then we shall learn some more, okay? All right, now let me share the screen. All right, now disable this. Okay, all right. So grade 8. So we are learning simple machine. Okay, we also learned that one. Now ideal and perfect machine. All right. So yesterday I told you the machine having efficiency 100%. Okay, the machine having efficiency 100%. That is called ideal machine, and ideal machine is also called the perfect machine. Okay. So you can see something written, you can see the text there. The machine without friction during its operation is called ideal machine. So if a machine that works without friction, all right, if a machine that works without friction, or if a machine performs, if a machine performs its work frictionlessly, then it is called the ideal machine, all right. And you know one thing, if the machine is ideal, actually there is no such machine. There is no such machine which is called the ideal machine because all the machines they are affected by the frictional force. All right. So the machine is never ideal. Okay. So ideal machines are only possible in our imagination. We can imagine, we can think about ideal machine, we can think about perfect machine, but there is no such machine which is perfect. Okay. But if the machine is perfect, what happens when the machine is perfect? So if the machine is perfect, if the machine is ideal, in that case output work and input work are equal. Okay, if the machine which is ideal or if the machine which is perfect, then in that situation output work and input work are equal. Okay, so output work that is calculated by the formula load into load arm and equal to sign at the middle and equals to input work that is again calculated by the formula effort into effort arm. So when the machine is perfect, when the machine is ideal, in that situation output work and input work are equal. That is load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm, and you can see the note there. Okay, the small note is written there. So the ideal machine is okay. All right, so ideal machine is not in practice because no machine operate without friction. As I told you earlier, there is no such machine which is ideal, there is no such machine which is perfect. Okay, because all the machines are affected by frictional force. No machine can operate without frictional force because frictional force is always presented. All right, there is no such condition we can avoid frictional force. Okay, we cannot avoid frictional force. We can minimize frictional force, we can decrease the value of frictional force, but there is no way we can avoid frictional force. That means there is no such machine which is efficient, or you can say which is ideal or which is perfect. Did you get the point? So the machine which operates frictionlessly, or the machine which works without friction, the machine which works without friction, that is called ideal machine, or you can say the perfect machine. But you know what, as I told you earlier, no machines are frictionless, no machines work without friction, which is why the ideal machine or the practical ideal machine or the perfect machine, which is just based in our imagination. Okay, we can imagine about the ideal machine, but in real factor, in real life, there is no such machine which is ideal. Okay, and if the machine is ideal, what happens when the machine is ideal? What happens when the machine is ideal? Okay, so when the machine is ideal, when the machine is perfect, in that case output work and input work are equal, as I showed you the calculation earlier. When the machine is ideal, okay, when the machine is perfect, you can see here output work is equal to input work. Okay, यदि कुनै पनि मसिन पर्फेक्ट भयो भने, हुन त कुनै पनि मसिन पर्फेक्ट हुँदैन, as I told you earlier, because all the machines are affected by frictional force. That's why there is no such machine which is perfect, or there is no such machine which is ideal. But if there is an ideal machine, in that situation output work and input work are equal. That means load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. Okay, so this is the formula. We can use this formula to solve numerical problems later on. And there is one note, okay? Ideal machine is not in practice because no machine operate without friction. As I told you earlier, there is no such machine which operates without friction. Okay, that's why ideal machines are only based on our imagination, which does not occur in real life. Okay, and you should understand one thing: the machine having efficiency 100%, the machine having efficiency 100%, that is also called ideal machine. यदि कुनै पनि मसिनको इफिसियन्सी चाहिँ 100% छ भने त्यसलाई आइडियल मसिन भनिन्छ. ओके, तर कुनै पनि मसिनको इफिसियन्सी 100% हुँदैन. Okay, because of frictional force, the efficiency of the machine is will be reduced, which is why none of the machines they have 100% efficiency. Okay, are you clear? Okay, because of frictional force, mechanical advantage will be less than VR. MA is always less than VR. Did you get the point? Okay, so because of the factor, when MA is less than VR, then efficiency of the machine also will be less than 100%. Okay, so this is what we learned yesterday. So I hope you are clear now, because I repeated 3 times. Okay, yesterday also I had certain revision, today also I repeated. That's why I repeated for 3 times, and I think you people are clear about that one. Okay, all right. Now let me share the screen again. All right, now, okay, so you can see the differences between ideal machine and practical machine. You can see there. Okay, practical machine, that means the machine which we use in our daily life, that is called practical machine. And the ideal machine means the machine which has 100% efficiency. Okay, so let us talk about the practical machine. The efficiency of the practical machine is less than 100%, as I told you earlier. Its efficiency is less than 100%. And if there is ideal machine or if there is a perfect machine, in that case the efficiency should be equal to 100%. Okay, in a practical machine, output work is less than input work. Okay, load into load arm is not equal to effort into effort arm. So this happens in practical machine. Okay, or you can say the non-ideal machine. But when the machine is ideal, so in an ideal machine, output work is equal to input work. That means load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. Okay, now there is third point. In a practical machine, MA is less than VR. Okay, as I told you earlier, in practical machine, MA is always less than VR. And if you talk about real ideal machine, in that case MA is equal to VR. So these are the major differences between practical machine and ideal machine. Okay, so students, are you clear about practical machine and ideal machine? Are you clear? The machine which we use in our daily life, that is called practical machine. Okay, the machine which we use in our daily life, that is called practical machine. Practical machine has always less than 100% efficiency. And the machine which is based in our imagination, that is ideal machine. And ideal machine always has efficiency more than its efficiency always equal to 100%. Okay, in ideal machine, Mechanical advantage, MA is equal to VR. And if you talk about practical machine, MA and VR are never equal. Okay, these are some major differences between ideal machine and practical machine. All right. Now, so students, are you clear about that one? Sandesh Paudel, unmute please. Are you
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Are you clear about
Yes, sir.
practical machine? Are you clear about practical machine and ideal machine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why there is not possible of getting an ideal machine? Why it is impossible to get ideal machine?
Because every machine has frictional force.
Every machine they work in presence of frictional force. Okay.
Okay,
Every
sir.
machine they operate in presence of frictional force, and when there is frictional force, MA and VR are not equal. MA is less, VR is more. So when MA and VR are unequal, in that case the machine has less efficiency. That means the efficiency becomes less than 100%. Okay, so this is what we learned yesterday. Okay, so any confusion up to here? Sudeep Singh,
Yes, sir.
do you have any confusion up to here?
No, sir.
Okay, Abushan Basnet, do you have any confusion?
No, sir.
Do you have any confusion, Abushan Basnet?
No, sir.
Okay, that's great. So if you have any confusion, then you can talk to me, all right?
No, bolo.
If you have any problem, then you can talk to me. Yes. Who is that? Did anyone call me? Sneha. Any confusion? Prayasna? Where is Prayasna? I just saw her. Now, where is she now? Maybe she's disconnected. Anyway, Kavya. Kavya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any confusion in what we learned
No,
earlier?
sir.
No. Okay, fine. That's great. Okay. So let me share the screen once again, all right? And we also learned about liver yesterday. Just a second, okay? Now, so basically a simple machine can be classified into 6 category. There are 6 types of simple machines. You can see on the screen: lever, pulley, wheel and axle, okay? It is not axle, it is axle, wheel and axle, inclined plane, screw, and last but not the least, we have ways. Okay, so these are the 6 types of simple machine. Okay, so machines can be classified into 6 category. There are 6 types of simple machines. They are lever, pulley, wheel and axle, inclined plane, screw, and last but not the least, we have ways. Okay, so these are the 6 types of simple machines. Okay, now let us begin with the first kind, that is lever. So we also discussed about lever yesterday. So lever is nothing but a rigid bar. It is a solid structure. You can see on the figure there. Okay, you can clearly see on the figure. All right, so there is a lever. Okay, this plank, wooden plank, you can see the wooden plank there. So that is one lever. So it is not necessary that lever is always straight. So lever could be bent also. Okay, lever सधैँभरि सिधा हुन्छ भन्ने छैन. Okay, अलिकति बाङ्गिएको पनि हुनसक्छ. If you talk about crowbar, the end of crowbar is a kind of twisted. तिमीले crowbar को अगाडिको पार्ट यदि हेर्यो भने त्यो अलिकति बाङ्गो हुन्छ. That's why lever, but you should understand that lever should be solid. Okay, lever cannot be gas, lever cannot be liquid, so it should be rigid bar. You can see the structure. Rigid means solid structure. Okay, having definite structure. Okay, having definite shape, that is called rigid. Bar means solid. Okay, so a lever is a rigid bar which moves freely at a point called fulcrum. So there is a balancing point we can see here. So at that point the lever is balanced. Okay, at this point the lever is balanced. At this point the lever is allowed to rotate freely. So this point is called fulcrum. So the point at which the lever is allowed to rotate freely, that point is called fulcrum. Fulcrum is also called the balancing point at which the lever is balanced. Okay, so load is kept at one end. You can see here एउटा एन्डमा लोड छ. We keep load at one end, and on the other end we apply effort or force. So load is kept at one end, effort is at other end, so we apply effort on other end. And the balancing point at which the lever is balanced is called fulcrum. So as I told you earlier, the point at which the lever is balanced, or the point at which the lever is allowed to rotate. So you can see the rotating point here. Okay, so this rotating point is called fulcrum. Okay, all right, so this is all about fulcrum. So students, are you clear about lever? We are clear about lever, isn't it? Let me give you one example. Okay, so I have scissors in my hand. It is scissors. Can you see it? It is scissors. So it has multiple functions. Okay, it is a pair of scissors because there are 2 blades. So I say this scissors is one kind of lever. It is a lever. You know why it is lever? Because see here, I'm holding scissors at this point, isn't it? I'm holding scissors at this point. So this is my holding point. So this is called effort. So we apply effort at this point, and this scissor, it is balanced at this point. You can see here. Can you see the point here? Middle point. This one. Can you see this one? So if I remove this point, this lever is, this scissor, it becomes unbalanced one. This यसको blade बाहिर निस्किन्छ, यसले काट्न, यसले काम गर्न छोड्छ. So this balancing point is called fulcrum. Did you get the point? So I hold scissors here at this point. It is called effort. So at this point this scissor is balanced. So it is called fulcrum, and it is used to cut piece of paper, isn't it? So let's say it is used to cut piece of paper. Let's say it is. Let's say I'm cutting the piece of paper, okay, by the help of scissors. Now, okay, the paper is taken as load. The paper is taken as load. So did you get the point? So this is effort. The point at which I'm holding the scissor, that is effort, and at this point the lever is balanced, or it is the balancing point, or at this point the lever is allowed to rotate. हेर त घुमिरहेछ कि छैन यो पोइन्टमा है, यो पोइन्टलाई सेन्टरमा हानेर लिभर यसरी रोटेट हुन्छ क्या. So the center point at which the lever is balanced, or the point at which the lever is balanced, is called fulcrum, and at this end we put load. Now if I trim here, then this part at this point we put load. So this is called load. So effort, fulcrum, load. So that's why it is a lever. Okay. So as I told you earlier, lever is a rigid bar. Okay, it may be straight or it may be bent. It is not necessary to be straight. Always straight हुनु जरुरी छैन. हेर त यो अलिकति यहाँ bend भएको छ. So lever is a rigid bar which may be straight or bent. Okay, and it is allowed to rotate at a point called fulcrum. So at this point the lever is allowed to rotate, so it is called fulcrum, and one end we apply effort and other end we put load. So this is called lever. Any confusion, students? Any confusion? Okay, Saukat, unmute please. Do you hear me, Saukat?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what is now? Did you understand about lever? Okay, are you clear, everyone? If you are unclear, then please raise your hand. Okay, Kazal, are you clear about lever? Seriously? Okay, yes. So now, so see there once again, you can see the figure. I have saved one figure as well. Okay, so this is the figure of lever. At one end we put load, and at this is the balancing point, which is called fulcrum, and at other end we apply effort, we apply force. So this is effort. So a lever is a rigid bar. You can say lever or you can say lever, no problem. Okay, lever is a rigid bar which moves freely at a point called fulcrum. So this rotating point at which the lever is balanced, this is called fulcrum, and load is kept at one end, and effort is applied on the other end, and the balancing point at which lever is balanced, that is called fulcrum. Okay, now this is all about lever. Now if we classify lever, or there is one theorem that the principle of lever, okay, all the lever, they work under one principle, under one condition. Okay, now what is the condition? See here, when the lever is in balance condition, okay, when the lever is in balance condition, and let's say the lever is operating frictionlessly. Suppose that the lever is working without friction. Actually it is not possible, but let's suppose that the lever is working without friction. Okay, so in that situation, input work and output work are equal. Okay, when the lever is in balance condition and it is working without frictional force, in that case input work and output work are equal, isn't it? In that case input work and output work are equal. Mathematically, input work is equal to output work, that is effort into effort arm equals to load into load arm. So this relation, this condition, this situation is called the principle of lever. Okay, you can see on the figure there, this is fulcrum, so this one is effort, that hand one, this one is effort, and this one is a load. So the distance between fulcrum and load, this is called load arm or load distance. The distance between fulcrum and effort, this is called effort arm or effort distance. Okay, so when the lever is in balance condition, and let us suppose that the lever is working without friction, let us believe that the lever is working without friction. In that condition, effort arm and load arm are equal. Effort arm and load arm are, so I mean to say input work and output work are equal, that is effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm. So this condition, this formula, this condition is called the principle of lever. Okay, so this is all about principle of lever. So students, are you clear about principle of lever? Johnson Cotwell, please unmute please.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, what is principle of lever?
So when the lever is in balanced condition and no frictional force acts on it, input work is equal to output work.
Mathematically, formula, what is the formula?
Input work is equal to output work.
means
effort into effort distance is equals to load into load distance.
yes. This condition is called. This is called what?
Principle of lever.
Fantastic. This is great. You are a good boy. Yes. When the lever is in balance condition, and let us suppose that the lever is working without friction, and in that condition, input work and output work are equal. Effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm, or effort into effort distance is equal to load into load distance. This condition is called the principle of lever. Okay, did you get the point? This is very much important. Okay, students, this is so much important. Please focus. All right. Okay, this is called the principle of lever. Okay. All right. Now, any confusion? Okay. Now let me share screen once again. All right. Now, so we learned about the principle of lever, isn't it? Right. Now let us classify lever. Now we are going to learn about lever. So basically lever can be classified into three categories. Okay, lever can be classified into three categories. There are three types of lever. Lever can be categorized into three categories. They are first class lever, second class lever, and it is third class lever. So you are quite familiar with it, isn't it? Because you have learned that in class 7. So basically there are three types of lever. They are first class lever, second class lever, and last but not the least, we have third class lever. Okay, now let me share the screen. So basically there are three types of lever. Okay, so as I told you earlier, the lever can be classified into three categories. See there, classification of lever. The first one, that is first class lever, second class lever, and the last but not the least, we have third class lever. Okay, so there are three types of lever, and we'll have to learn all these types of lever in detail. Okay, now let's begin with first class lever. So you are quite familiar with the first class lever. The lever is said to be first class if fulcrum is situated in between, or the lever is said to be first class if fulcrum is situated at any point between load and effort. Okay, let's say here is load and here is effort. So in at any point between load and effort, this is load and this one is effort. Load र effort को बिचमा जहाँ भए पनि fulcrum बिचतिर पर्यो भने त्यसलाई भनिन्छ, that is called first class lever. Example, scissors, a pair of scissors, beam balance, pliers, seesaw. These are the examples of the first class lever. All right, so the lever is said to be first class if fulcrum is situated at any point between effort and load. हेर त, यदि लोड र effort को बिचमा fulcrum पर्यो भने त्यसलाई भनिन्छ first class lever. Example के होला त? The examples are a pair of scissors. Scissors you can say, beam balance भनेको जोक्ने खालको हुन्छ नि, that is beam balance. Pliers means it is in Nepal it is called pilas. Okay, actually it is pliers. And seesaw. Okay, you might have seen your brother or small brother kids playing seesaw. In Nepal it is called dikichang. So that is called first class lever. All right, so you can see here, this is the figure of seesaw. Okay, there are two kids sitting on the ends of the seesaw, and this is balancing point, which is called fulcrum. All right, and then this is one kid and other one. So this is called the first class lever. There are some more examples: beam balance, pliers, seesaw. These are the examples of the first class lever. Okay, so students, are you clear about first class lever? Listen to me. The lever is said to be first class. Okay, the lever is said to be first class if fulcrum is situated at any point between load and effort. So example is this, scissors. Because here, I'm holding scissors here, isn't it? So this is effort. Okay, जहाँ मैले समात्छु त्यो effort हुन्छ, and from this point, from this part I cut. Okay, it is used, this blade, this part it is used for cutting. So this, at this point we put load. So this is load, there is effort, and this middle point, this one is called fulcrum, because this point lets this scissors rotate, isn't it? So this rotating point is called fulcrum. So it is a first class lever. So the lever is said to be first class if fulcrum is situated at any point between effort and load. बिचमा नै हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन, जहाँ भए नि हुन्छ है, यतातिर भए पनि हुन्छ. Fulcrum could be here, no problem. Okay, fulcrum could be here, no problem, but at that point the lever has to be balanced. Okay, any confusion? It is not necessary that fulcrum should be at the middle point. It is not necessary that. So what is necessary is that the fulcrum should be at any point, but that point should balance the lever. So this is called first class lever. And not only this, pliers is example. Okay, seesaw, like that, up and down, seesaw. Okay, one goes up and other goes down. Again like this, seesaw. You might have seen, right? Or while you are in nursery or while you are in PG, or while you are in that like UKG, LKG, whatever kindergarten classes, you might have played seesaw, isn't it? That is one example of the first class lever. Any confusion? Students, any confusion? If you have no confusion, then please raise your hand, okay? Any confusion? If you are clear, then please raise your hand. Sambhavi, you are unclear. Sneha. Prayasna? What is Prayasna? Okay, fine, that's okay, hands down. Okay, Abushan, I got it. Hands down, please. Okay, now let us go to next page, all right? So, okay, now there is one very much important note. So in first class lever, we can see that, okay, in first class lever, effort arm of the first class lever is longer than load arm. So if we talk about first class lever, okay, then effort arm, this is effort arm. In first class lever, effort arm or effort distance is always longer than load distance, which is why it magnifies the applied force. So when the effort arm is more, the force applied by the force applied by us will be multiplied, okay, which is why by applying less force we can get our job done. Okay, that's why first class lever is very much important, because first class lever multiplies the force applied by us, okay, because first class lever has longer effort arm but shorter load arm, and when there is longer effort arm, the effort applied will be multiplied or effort applied will be magnified, okay. So this is the major advantage of the first class lever. Okay, students, are you clear about that note? Okay, Praiska, unmute please.
Yes, sir.
Why it is advantageous to use first class lever?
It is advantageous to use the first class lever because in the first class lever, the effort arm is longer than the load arm, which makes our work easier by multiplying the force applied.
That's great. Yes, you are right. 100% correct. So as Praiska said, in first class lever, effort arm. So this is effort arm, okay? So if this is the example of scissors. So this middle point, it is called fulcrum. And this one is, here we put load. So this is called load arm. This is called load distance, okay? And this one is called effort distance. So if you measure, हामीले दुईटा डिस्टेन्स यदि कम्पेयर गरेर मेजर गऱ्यो भने यो लामो हुन्छ, एफोर्ट आर्म जहिले पनि लामो हुन्छ, लोड आर्म जहिले पनि छोटो हुन्छ. Effort arm is longer, this distance is longer, and this distance is shorter. That means when the effort arm is longer, what does the lever do? When the effort arm is longer, it multiplies the effort. Okay, let's say you have to carry 1000 Newton load. मानौ कि तिमीलाई 1000 Newton load उचाल्नु छ, क्यारी गर्नु छ. Let's say you are supposed to carry 1000 Newton load and you are using first class lever. You are using first class lever. Reason you will have to carry a load of 1000 Newton and you are using first class lever. In that case, if you have to carry 1000 Newton load, then you don't have to apply 1000 Newton force. Effort 1000 Newton apply गर्नु पर्दैन. You want to थोरै apply गर्यो हुन्छ. किन त? Because by applying less force, we can carry or we can overcome the bigger load, because first class lever multiplies the effort, okay, because it has longer effort arm than the load arm, longer effort distance than the load distance, okay. So this is all about first class lever. So are you clear about the examples of the first class lever? Scissors, pliers, even nail cutter. You might have seen nail cutter. Nail cutter is also the example of the first class lever, all right? Yes, nail cutter, okay. Pliers, nail cutter, scissors, okay. Beam balance, tarazu. Cholunge tarazu huncha ni. Have you seen that beam balance? Nowadays we use digital balance, right? That is more precise, that is more accurate. But still some of we use that beam balance. Okay, so that is the example of the first class lever. Okay, all right. Any confusion? Any confusion? Kelvin Sabkota.
No, sir.
Seriously, or you are lying to me?
Seriously, no confusion.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now let me share screen once again. Okay, mute, please. Now let us go to second type of lever, that is second class lever. The lever is said to be second class if load is situated at any point between fulcrum and effort. Okay, so in this case, in earlier case, fulcrum was in between load and effort. Now in this case, load is situated at any point between fulcrum and effort. के हुन्छ यहाँ पनि बिचमा लोड हुन्छ र साइडमा चाहिँ fulcrum र effort हुन्छ. So the lever is said to be second class if load is situated at any point between fulcrum and effort. Example, wheelbarrow. Look at this, the person is carrying load in wheelbarrow. Okay, it is second class lever because here the person applies force at the handle. So this is effort, or you can see here. Yeah, you can. This is the figure of wheelbarrow. Okay, here is effort. At this point we apply force, so it is effort, and at this point we put load. So this is load, and this wheel is the example. This wheel is fulcrum. So load is in between effort and fulcrum. So this is the example of the second class labor. So you can see here the person is lifting something by the help of wheelbarrow. So this at middle here is load. Let's say he's carrying a sand. Okay, he's carrying some sand. All right. So sand is load. So load, the person is holding here handle. At this point he applies force. So this is effort, and this wheel is the example of fulcrum. So this is the example of the second class lever, and some more examples are lemon squeezer, कागती निचार्ने हुन्छ नि, lemon squeezer, nut cracker, सुपारी काट्ने, bottle opener. Okay, bottle opener, Coke bottle, we will have to open that Coke bottle cap by the bottle opener. So these are some examples of the second class lever. Okay, so some of the examples are here, and even this is not cracker. Here at this point we apply force, so it is effort. This is load. At this point we put load. That means it is not. Not is a load. Not भनेको सुपारी है. And this is fulcrum. So it is second class lever. All right. So you can see the note there. Second class lever has effort arm always longer than load arm. यहाँ पनि के भन्छ त, in second class lever effort arm is always longer than, like first class lever, in second class lever also effort arm is always longer than load arm, which is why it magnifies the applied force and makes our work easier. Okay, because of this situation it magnifies the applied force and makes our work easier. Unlike first class lever, second class lever also makes our work easier by multiplying the force because it has longer effort arm. Okay, it has longer effort arm or longer effort. Students, are you clear about that one? Are you feeling lazy or what? Okay, Kajal, unmute please.
Yes, sir.
Kajal, are you clear about second class lever?
Sir.
Are you clear about second class lever, Kajal?
Yes, sir.
Speak up please, your voice is too low. Okay, now tell me, what is second class lever, Kajal?
The lever is said to be second class if load is situated between any point of fulcrum and effort.
Can you give some examples?
Lemon squeezer and
Okay, don't say lemon squeezer, it is lemon squeezer. Squeeze, squeeze, not squeeze. Okay, that's great. And why it is fruitful or why it is advantageous to use second class lever?
because it magnifies the applied.
How does it magnify the applied force? How does it magnify the applied force?
Because its effort arm is longer than load arm.
Okay, that's great. Good job.
Yes, sir.
What is second class lever?
So the lever which can be said second class lever if the load is between a point between fulcrum and effort.
Okay, good. And why it is fruitful or why it is advantageous to use second class lever in our daily life?
So it is advantageous because effort arm is always bigger than load arm.
Not bigger or longer?
Longer, sir.
Longer than
load arm.
And what happens when the effort arm is longer than load arm?
Sir,
what happens when effort arm is longer than load arm?
Sir.
Okay, Dilasa. Okay, Dilasa.
Yes, sir.
What happens when effort arm is longer than load arm?
Sir, it multiplies the effort applied force.
Oh, it multiplies the effort applied. Are you sure? I thought the lever becomes long.
Multiplies
when
the
the
force.
effort arm is longer, then lever becomes long. That is wrong, isn't it? That means it multiplies force, right? Okay, that's great. Yes, you are right. Actually, when a lever has longer handle or longer effort arm, then lever becomes long. At the same time, it also multiplies the effort. Okay, it also multiplies the effort, and that makes our work easier. All right. So this is what we learned today. So I hope you people are clear, and we are running out of time. We have just less than 1 minute left. So any confusion up to here? Any confusion up to here?
No, sir.
Okay, that's great. All right. So we shall learn more in upcoming class. Okay. All right, and don't worry. I shall be giving you more surprises. Okay, more surprises are coming. Don't worry.